Matt Spieler's with us, two-tag Matt. As you can see, he's got two name tags. He is the editor of Floor Trends magazine, where it surfaces 2014. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Dave. How are you?
I wasn't going to call you the new editor, but you are the new editor.
Yes, it's only been 6 months since I've been at Floor Trends, and I'm enjoying it tremendously.
Now, you've been around this industry for a long time. How long?
Just over 20 years now, actually. Yes, I was at another publication for 19 and a half years before I joined Floor Trends 6 months ago. And so this is now my 20th surfaces, to be exact, yes.
And I thought it was interesting. We were talking yesterday, and you said, I've had some friends for 20 years, but I've only seen them 20 times.
Just about. I mean, that's kind of what these markets are about. And that's one of the reasons why I've always promoted markets, because they're one of the best ways of networking and keeping in touch with people, because you might speak to people and talk to them and converse with them all year round, but the market might be the only time that you get to see them face to face.
What's your take on this show? And it's always been hard to judge, in my opinion, how good a show is, because in good times people would bring a whole entourage, which didn't increase the buying power, but it was exciting and more people. I think that happens a lot less. Plus, there's a lot fewer retailers out there. Given all that, how do you judge the success of this show?
This year's show, I think, is probably the best in 4 or 5 years at least, both from just observation and going around talking to manufacturers. Some of the companies have told me that yesterday they had a better day than they had, say, in the first 2 days for the last few years. So that's one of the best ways of judging it. And also, what you mentioned about people bringing less, something interesting is a number of the bigger retailers that I've been talking to, they've actually started increasing again the number of people that they're bringing.
Really?
Yes. So, for instance, where they might have brought, say, 2 to 3 in these past couple of years, suddenly they're back to bringing 7 and 8 like they had 5, 6 years ago. So, is it more attendance? Maybe, again, by a total retail account, no. But by, as you said, buying power, yes, because they're spreading themselves out so that they can see more product and buy more, because they're realizing business is getting better.
Well, and two, it seems to me now the seminars are free, and it seems to me there's a lot more people attending these. At least that's my observation. Would you agree with that?
100%. I mean, every person I've spoke to that's conducted a seminar, I don't think I've had one person tell me they've had under 80 people at their seminars. And some of them were 8 o'clock in the morning on the first day, and that's after people came in after long flights the night before and spent their time at the gambling tables and all that. And here they are at 8 in the morning at an educational session. And some of them, I mean, we might say are the most mundane topics, but there really are important topics for improving your business, and these people are there attending them and taking notes and really getting into it.
And I guess that's really significant, that retailers are looking to improve. They're happy that they're on this side of the recession, and they certainly want to improve things, improve their lot anyway.
I would hope so. I mean, it's Warren Buffett who actually has a famous quote in saying that more businesses fail on the way out of a recession than they do on the way into a recession, and that's because they're not prepared. They're not prepared for that increase. They don't have the assets, or their store and staffing isn't correct, and suddenly there's a flood of people coming in and they can't deal with it, and now these people are going to the competition. So you need to be updated on the newest things, because despite the recession and the way the industry was, the flooring industry in general, as on the manufacturing level, giving them credit, and you know this just as well, had not stopped innovating, had stopped producing products that are really going to help the consumer once they're ready to open up their purse strings, and they're starting to do that now.
This is now the International Surfaces event.
That it is.
Although it hasn't affected me in any way. Is it affecting anything else?
Well, it depends on your business. For instance, if you do more tile, then it's going to probably help you a lot, because there's going to be more tile guys here. If you're looking to expand or get into new and diversify yourself into more areas, then there's so much more here to look at and see. I mean, there's always has been, but now with the direction of Hanley Wood and the way they've done things, you can find so many areas that you might be able to go into your local market to open up a little more business and differentiate yourself, and be that market leader in your area.
Now, people come here, obviously, for the education, as we discussed, And I think, and to see, as you also mentioned, to see old friends and renew acquaintances and so on, and a network. But new products come in somewhere pretty close to the top of the list as to why people come here. Definitely. Have you seen anything that's just blown you sideways? Don't you love me to put you on the spot like
exactly, yeah. I'm going to have to take a journalism stance on this one, and I'm going to go neutral in the sense of saying without actually signaling out any particular company. But there are some very innovative, interesting things here when you get down to it. For a stranger who's walking into the show, they would probably think that LVT is the leader and the market share leader, similar to back in the late 90s when a stranger would have thought laminate was the market share leader. So it's a little deceiving that way. But there's some fantastic products that are around here. As I was saying, some innovative, some great things that are going on, both soft and hard surface.
And there's also, I try to spend at least a half a day wandering up and down the aisles here, and you see the little inventions that an installer did or a retailer did, and those are things that retailers would probably never see if they stay home.
100%. I mean, in fact, I had a conversation yesterday with a gentleman from Germany who has a very unique system. It's very hard to describe just in a sense, but it was so fantastic in a sense that how it put a moisture meter within the floor itself, and using technology, Wi-Fi technology, would actually make the signal go back to your laptop, wherever you want. There's the home. You can keep track of the moisture in your floor. Now, granted, it's in a single spot, so if you spill something in a corner of a room, it might not. But the point being is, if there's a problem going on, it's a way of finding out, because you'll know. And if you have a big area, you could multiples, but one thing can work for like 100 square meters. And what a fantastic, interesting idea.
And there's lots and lots of innovative ideas like that here. You just have to walk up and down the aisles and find them.
Exactly, and that's why you really need to come to shows like this. And like you say, schedule the appointments with the main suppliers, some of them that you need to see and so on, but really actually make sure that you spend a half a day to a day just to yourself and wander around, like you said, and just check those small booths out. I mean, forget the big guys. No offense to the big guys, but you see them all the time. You know, go to those little guys that you really never have a chance to see, and they don't have a chance to see you because they don't have that manpower. So go visit them. They're spending money. They wanna show you what they can do for you as well.
Last question. I know you got to go. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this show?
If you want to compare it to the last 4 or 5 years, I would put it as a 10.
Matt, thanks so much, and I know you got to go. I'll let you get out of here.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
It's always a pleasure talking with you.
Same here, always. Thank you.
Matt Spieler. Matt is the editor of Floor Trends magazine. We're at Surfaces 2014. This is Talk Floor TV.